So we're very excited about where the business is going to go. And I think the reason for that, we have some core strengths versus the traditional merchants. We're very, very focused on our customer, but also very focused on the price.
So I think there is a massive problem in the British housing industry, and that's because 60% of the housing is delivered by 8 large house builders who are so driven by profit that actually innovation and the quality of their product really comes second. We have a massive problem, and I think the way that we can try and deal with that is to encourage self-build. Because if you ask people, would you buy a new house? 74% of people said no. So does that mean that we have a housing industry that's successful, that's working, that should be getting government support to create houses to undercut the secondary housing market with Help to Buy? I don't think it does, yet that's what's going on. I also don't think we're going to solve the problem with the lack of affordability, and crucially, I don't think we're going to solve the antagonism that exists between people in communities and the new houses that we want to build in communities. Because we're all about fairness. Humans evolved in groups of about 200 people, and we're super hot on fairness. Fairness defines how we feel about ourselves and how we view wider society. The reason no one wants new housing is it just isn't fair, and that has to change. And I think self-build is a way of doing that. Do you think that the fact that we have the lowest self-build rates of any developed country, of any country in the world, has got anything to do with the slightly odd, dysfunctional housing system we've got? Now, it might just be coincidence. I suspect it isn't. The average self-builder moves about once every 20 years. The rest of us about 7, 8, 9 years. People stay put when they're involved in their housing, which means they're more invested in community, they're invested in place. And I've talked to successive governments about the potential of self-build, and all they're thinking is numbers. All it's about for them is so they can stand up and say, we hit 300,000 units this year. They don't care what those units are doing to the areas where they're really built. And they've always felt, well, self-build can't deliver the numbers. Why are we even bothering? And the argument is, yes, it can. Self-build can achieve anything if you put your right mind to it.